They want to go back to the same policies that stacked the deck against middle-class Americans for way too many years. And their philosophy is simple. We are better off when everybody's left to fend for themselves and play by their own rules.
That was President Obama speaking in Kansas earlier this week. One senator who was watching says he found it offensive. Here to tell us why is Republican Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama. Senator, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Shannon.
You went to the floor and made a pretty impassioned speech in response to the president. What had you so fired up?
Well, I just felt very, very strongly that this president has a duty to lead selflessly. He needs to tell the American people the truth. And the greatest threat to the middle class and to all of us is the debt that's over our country. He's not discussed that in any way, and his proposals continually borrow more to spend more. And it's putting us in exactly the wrong direction. And I also believe he has a host of things he could do to help the middle class, which is being hammered and is being damaged today, that would not add to the debt, help America grow and prosper. And we need that kind of prosperity, not a tax and spend big government and a generated prosperity that has never worked and won't work now.
He says that folks like you are standing in the way of helping the middle class. He says the Republicans have abandoned the middle class in favor of their rich friends, millionaires and billionaires. How do you respond?
Well, it's a political clever gambit that he's participating in. And what I'm calling on the president to do is tell the truth. Do you remember when Ronald Reagan in the early 1980s? You may not, but I do. He took the heat for 2 years to bring this inflation under control, and it did put us into a short-term, difficult economic situation, but it created growth for 20 years. And this president needs to be speaking the real truth about the danger that debt and overspending and a bloated government is creating, how it's hammering the middle class. We need to stand up to China. He refused to do that and support currency balancing and fairness with China. He continues to allow illegal immigrants to take jobs from Americans. He's not creating lower cost, more American energy. He's blocking the Keystone Pipeline. These are things that do not hurt the Treasury, do not cost money, but create real jobs for middle-class Americans. And that's what I think is so important today.
He says Republicans are playing politics when it comes to the Keystone Pipeline. You mentioned that. There are a lot of proposals on the Hill these days about how to handle the payroll tax extension, whether it will go beyond December 31st. The president has said he won't accept any deal that includes him essentially giving the green light to the Keystone Pipeline, which we know has been vetted and approved through one State Department study. They're undertaking a new environmental study now. But is it true that folks are playing politics with the payroll tax extension? Does it get done with or without the Keystone Pipeline?
The Keystone Pipeline is a defining moment for the middle class. I mean, it's unthinkable that we won't approve that. Every state through which it goes now will support the pipeline. It's going to be done in an environmentally friendly, effective way. We have pipelines all over this country. This will create 100,000 plus jobs, lower energy costs, make us more energy strong. I just think it's the right thing to do, and I'm amazed, flabbergasted, stunned that the president won't move forward with that. He's also slowed dramatically drilling in the Gulf of Mexico where huge reserves are. This creates American wealth. It keeps us from having to send down money to Venezuela or Saudi Arabia or foreign countries. Creates jobs in America. And we're on a roll energy-wise. If we take advantage of that, we can bring down the cost of energy, make our industries more competitive. They'll hire more American workers, and it won't cost the Treasury a dime, but bring in new tax revenue.
All right, if the payroll tax deal gets done without the Keystone XL pipeline, the next vetting study that it's going through now wouldn't be done before the first quarter of 2013. At that point, if President Obama has been reelected, how quickly do you think he would act to allow it to move forward?
The pipeline, I just can't, I don't know. It seems to me that there's no real logical basis not to move forward now. It seems to me he's responding to a very fossil fuel energy coalition, part of the left. They also attempt to block every pipeline. So I don't know where we'll go, but we need more American energy. We need it cheaper. We need American people not to pay more for their energy, but to pay less. And when that happens, they'll buy more, businesses are more competitive, and more people will get hired.
Are there any of your Democratic colleagues in the Senate that you have conversations with that you found some common ground with on some of these issues, some you think that you could work together with on getting some of these things done?
Oh, absolutely. There are quite a number of people, Democrats, I believe, that would like to support the pipeline and believe it's the right thing for America. A number of Democratic senators understand that the artificial blocking of production of energy in the Gulf that's occurred in recent years since the spill that has been fixed, the plans to handle that have been fixed. That is, I think a lot of Democratic senators want to do that. A number of Democratic senators know that illegal labor coming in at low rates pull down middle-class wages and have been willing to stand up on that. They also, a lot of Democrats know that we need to stand up to foreign trading partners who cheat, particularly China, who've manipulated their currency. Matter of fact, I worked with a lot of Democrats on that issue, and we won that vote in the Senate, but the president won't support us.
Well, it's always good to see bipartisanship of any kind on the Hill. Senator Sessions, thank you very much, and we wish you the best in finding those solutions that can bring the two sides together.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks.